I am not a drinker. In my life, zero drinking. And it's because, I mentioned my family, right? My circle, where I come from, it is open trunk. I come from a long line of drinkers and drinkers who got out of control. And my problem with drinking is that when I started, I don't stop it. So I'm a recovering alcoholic. My identity is in Jesus. My desire sometimes is for alcohol stronger than it needs to be. I like it too much. There's a proverb that says, don't look at the glass when the alcohol is rolling around and looks so refreshing. So I see a beer commercial and then that foam comes up and kind of goes over the glass. I'm like, oh, it looks so good. And I love the taste of it. Some of you don't like the taste of it. I love the smell of it. When I smell a stale bar room, it feels like home. It's got like a child. Like some of you smell like banana bread. You're like, oh, my grandma. I smell a stale bar room like, oh, grandma. It's just true. I'm sorry, this is the way. I'm like, oh, so nice. And there's something inside of my head that just goes, wonderful. And so I love it too much. And so what I've had to do with alcohol, I have zero tolerance. I just don't do it. I've turned alcohol into a person, and then I ask myself, if that person called me up, would I want to hang out with them? This is a personified alcohol. This is part of my battle. I make it a person, and if he called me up or texted me and said, hey, you want to hang out, then I have to answer it. Well, let me answer it. Let's see, you want to hang out with me. You want to come over to my house and hang out and sit down in my living room after you ruined my grandparents' life and many more, my aunts and uncles' lives and many more. After you ruined my dad who didn't stick around and a big part of his problem was alcohol, so you took him away. And after you took huge decades of my mom's life and made that her thing over everything else, and you took her away. And after you ruined my life for years and almost had me in your grasp and pulled me out of life, you did that and you want to hang out with me. What's my answer when he calls up? No, you can't come over. If you come over, I'm going to punch you in the throat. If you want to come over. So that's my answer. The biblical principle is do not be what? Drunk on wine. It's not do not drink. There's responsible principles inside of there. And so for me and people like me, it's best not to be around it. Make it into a person and see if you'd hang out with it. And if you wouldn't hang out with it if it was a person, then don't hang out with it at all.